I'm Steve Adubato.
And I'm Rafael Piraman. Joining us now to talk about some of the critical issues affecting New Jersey is veteran Republican State Senator Joe Kyrillos. Senator Kyrillos, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you, guys. Good to be here.
Now, Senator, let me start with this. In October 2015, the Kiplinger Report, it's a business magazine, put New Jersey on the top 10 least tax-friendly states for retirees. It ranked New Jersey as the second highest in combined state and local tax burden. Now, you've been trying to do something about that. You and Tom Kean Jr. last year introduced legislation. What are you trying to do to make this go away or make it different?
You know, we have to rebrand New Jersey, right? We're always going to be a high-cost place. We're going to be an expensive northeastern state. But we have to create jobs and attract businesses at least at the pace of our neighbors. And we're losing so many high net worth people from the state. And it's not the millionaires, guys, that you know, I worry about. I represent some of them, but I represent many, many more of us that will be disadvantaged, and many low-income people and middle-income people who depend on revenues to the state for important public purposes. And when we lose those people, when we lose the top 2%, right, people that are in that category, we love to talk about the infamous 2% now. We lose 40-some-odd% of all the income tax revenue.
So the retirees that are getting hit after they retired in this state, how are they getting hit, and what are you trying to do to try to get them not to get hit? Well, first of all,
we can't scare people by talking about millionaires' taxes, right? We should try to at least be the same as New York, and preferably a little bit less, right? Governor Tom Kean told me years ago, always be a little bit under New York, New York City. People will opt to come here and live here and spend their money here. We have an inheritance tax and an estate tax. I think
the only state in the nation with two death taxes?
I think there might be one other, Steve.
Might be one other state that's as expensive as New Jersey to die in?
Two out of 50. And so what does that mean? And it's not just for the richest of New Jersey. And it's for anybody that's had a little bit of success in life. They want to take their money. They want to go to places where their modest, moderate pension isn't taxed, and go someplace else. And so, you know, we have to have tax fairness.
In Pennsylvania, retirement income isn't taxed at all.
But we have to do arithmetic. And that's exactly right. Now we're talking about.
And New York is 40%?
We are talking about eliminating the estate tax.
That's
very important.
Clarify that. What is the estate tax?
And we shouldn't talk about raising income taxes. In Pennsylvania, you brought up Pennsylvania, the effective rate is 5%. But in New Jersey, it's more than double that.
What is the estate tax? Let people know. What is it?
Well, the estate tax is the tax that you pay upon death to your heirs, and we don't keep up with the federal standard in terms of deductions.
We should do away with it?
And we should do away with it.
How about what do you say to some Democrats who say, you know,
we should phase it in over time?
Okay, some Democrats say, you know what, it's about $450 million of revenue to the state. If you do away with it, we can't afford it. We need that revenue.
Well, we're not going to do it in one fell swoop. We're going to gradually do it over a period of years. But I believe that we're going to keep people in the state that will keep their homes, spend money here, buy things in the stores, take care of the college and the theater and the museum and the hospital down the street. You know, one of the biggest sectors of New Jersey that should be scared about the flight of wealth is the nonprofit sector. And when we lose those kinds of people, we lose all their philanthropy.
Senator, go back to the millionaire's tax. You said we don't need to be talking about a millionaire's tax scaring people anymore. What about those, particularly Democrats, who say, you know something? And some of the public employee unions, they say, we need a millionaire's tax, which would raise approximately $600 million in the state, because those dollars, those $600 million, will help us deal with the pension crisis for public employees. And that $600 million would go to the $3 billion or so New Jersey needs to put into the public employee pension gap, if you will. And you say, let's not do that. Well, the question is, then where does the revenue come from?
I don't know what the increase would be. Depends on what you raise it to. And the millionaire's tax isn't really a true millionaire's tax. It's a half millionaire's tax.
Why is it such a bad idea?
And it hits all small businesses too. Lots of businesses that have lots of employees. They don't pay a corporate tax rate. They pay an income tax. So it drives people away. And you know, there's a lot of places we can spend it on: the Transportation Trust Fund, on school finance, on extra assistance for middle-income school districts who get very, very little, and we rely on property taxpayers as a result. Pensions, which of course have to be fixed, and there's just not enough to go around. But what happens is when you lose those people, you lose your ability to pay for all those kinds of things. People say to me that, you know, the so-called experts, Steve, well, you know, we have just as many, you know, high net worth people or so-called millionaires as we ever did. We do have new, younger, high income, successful people. That's true. They come in, but we lose the older ones. And there's no reason why we can't have everybody. And so, you know, just the mere talk about it has corporate relocation people nervous.
How much money are we losing?
And they say, listen, I think we've lost, say, in recent years, maybe a decade, I'd have to check the years, about $1 billion plus dollars. $1 billion of money that we could have kept here in New Jersey, but we are losing to Florida, to New Hampshire, to other localities that...
Transportation Trust Fund runs out of money in 2016.
By the end of June 2016
runs out of money. Gas tax. Look, I just heard yesterday, the lowest price of oil in 11 years. We haven't raised the gas tax here in what, since '87 or something like that?
Mid-80s.
The second lowest.
Listen, unfortunately, we use that Transportation Trust Fund to, you know, pay for brooms and vacuum cleaners for the buses and the trains, and so there's nothing left. So we're going to have to increase the revenue.
What we were talking about earlier.
So look, if you're asking me if I'm open to a gas tax, yeah, I'm open to a gas tax. So I'm open.
It's a user tax, right? It's a user fee.
It's a logical way to do it. You know, it depends on how much we want to do. It depends if we can couple it with other smart things like the estate tax thing. Lots of Democrats won't want to do it. It shouldn't intellectually be linked, but it may be the opportunity to do something very productive for the state's economy as we do something on the transportation
Senator, some Republicans might go along with a raising of the gas tax if it's combined with a reduction, ultimately the elimination of the estate tax.
It's a very possible formula. We also have to look at why it costs so much to build our roads. We spend more than anybody else, more than other high-cost, urbanized, densely populated states. We shouldn't necessarily be number one. Why is that? What can we do to look at that in the context of replenishing this Transportation Trust Fund? More than anything, you know, I heard you guys talking about leadership. We got to act. This legislature, as many legislatures around the country, the Congress in Washington, it is not productive. We have all these challenges, problems. We could have taped this show last year, December 2015. We would have the same conversation.
Well, it's great to have you back again, and have a great 2016. Thank you, Senator.
Good to be with you both.
Thank you so much.
Ralph.
Thank you. Well, Steve recently spoke with the chair of the Senate's Budget and Appropriations Committee, Senator Paul Sarlo, about New Jersey's fiscal outlook, the Transportation Trust Fund, and the state's broken pension system. Here now is that conversation.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Barnabas Health, the New Jersey Education Association, the law firm of Gibbons PC, New Jersey Resources, NJM, NJ Best, International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 825, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State, and by Employers Association of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.